Hey, what's good? It's your boy, Mixtape Moth, and today I'm going to hit y'all with a review of the new album from Amari Mar entitled Grand Rising. Let's get to it. Alright, so Amari Mar is a rapper coming out of Brooklyn, New York. You are going to hear a lot of conscious and thought-provoking lyrics in his music. It's pretty obvious after listening to a couple of his songs that Amari Mar has knowledge of self. I'm detecting somewhat of a 5%er influence in his raps, as he's all about dropping jewels and knowledge as opposed to dumbing things down. Amari Mar comes across as an artist who is comfortable in his own skin. He doesn't seem like the type to follow new trends or to do what the clout chasing crowd is into. He doesn't rap about drugs. There is no plug talk or gun talk on his songs. Rather, he focuses on themes centered on spirituality, black pride, healthy eating, and meditation. So if you are looking for an MC who spits grimy street tales with a plethora of coke talk, then this project might not be for you. But if you enjoy more uplifting messages and bars that are designed to help you reach a higher level of awareness, then Amari Mar is your guy. Now, he has been releasing music since the 2010s. His first mixtape, entitled Too Many Cooks Spoil the Broth, was hosted by Cool G Rap in 2012. He followed that up in 2013 with this project, The God Must Be Crazy. But now, in the spring of 2021, he released his brand new album entitled Grand Rising. This project contains 17 tracks and lasts approximately 45 minutes in length. As far as the production goes, I would describe the bulk of these beats as soulful boom bap. So you're getting drums, thankfully, chopped samples, and soulful loops. There is even some scratching on a couple of tracks. But with that being said, let me just go ahead and jump right into a track by track breakdown. The opener, Grand Rising, sets a positive and inspirational tone right out the gate. The beat is soulful and triumphant. I feel like I've heard this sample before, but I can't quite recall where. Amari states, "You expected me to rap about drugs? This is the wrong song. If you tuning in now, this is where you belong." So he's bringing you into his own world. He's not sticking to formulaic content that you are getting from a lot of MCs. Even though street rap is my base, it is refreshing to hear an artist with a different perspective, and his message is positive, so I can't hate on that. Track 2, entitled Holy Shit, finds Amari dropping some knowledge with a splash of braggadocio talk. The beat is grimy with some punchy drums and a magical keyboard melody. I really dug the pocket Amari was flowing in, as he sounds effortless atop this production. He shows some maturity with lines like, "I learned from my mistakes and adapt and switch my tactics, been more health conscious, had to change my eating habits." This theme of healthy living and healthy eating will be revisited on other songs. Track 3, Nothing to Prove, has an atmospheric and quirky soundscape. He's flexing his lyrical dexterity here, but also speaking on things he's not cool with, like the false prophets and black men being emasculated by the media. Yeah, he's not feeling men dressing in women's clothing or people getting crucified for being straight. I was getting somewhat of a Lord Jamar vibe from his particular views on this topic. Then on Black Business, Amari speaks on his plans to reinvest in the black community. His goal is to invest in properties, build assets, and have multiple streams of income for generational wealth. I found it interesting when he spoke of the challenges that his parents faced with money as baby boomers. However, as a millennial, Amari has a different mentality on ways to acquire wealth and to be successful. But I was taken with his breakdown of the difference between the mindset of money for the two generations, the baby boomers and the millennials. I thought it was pretty insightful. And there is something about this beat that reminded me of the production found on Joey Badass's 1999 album. Right after is The Truth featuring Fashawn. This contains a feel-good boom bap instrumental. The scratching, bells, and drums make this production very nostalgic. Amari can again be seen as venting his frustrations with the current climate of things. He references kids doing stupid challenges and girls dressing like dudes, acting like dudes. Amari feels that the roles for men and women have been reversed, and I can get where he's going with this, as we do see a lot of women embracing more masculine qualities while guys seem comfortable being soft and in their feminine. What follows is the record Above the Rim. This contains a pensive soul loop, which is a good backdrop for Amari to address what he considers to be the ills of the world. Things like corrupt politics and government, reality TV, prisons, a flawed education system, and the devil constantly using his technology. Still, despite the grim realities, Amari urges folks to be strategic, to make good choices, and most importantly, have a high level of awareness. That awareness is key, and the goal is to control your own destiny and to not let negativity win. On Head Up High, Amari speaks on spirituality on top of this very attractive soul sample. I would say it is one of my favorite samples on this album. He manages to go deeper than a submarine on here with bars like, I'm a spirit living a human experience. That means I've been here before in this physical form. The concept of different realms of reality, I've been reborn. He advocates for yoga and meditation in order to find peace, balance, and to open up the chakras. It's very third eye inspired and metaphysical content for sure. Immediately following is the Ultra Fly UB, which stands for Unapologetically Black. Amari speaks on various pro-black themes set to a celebratory 70s sample. I love the horns and the vintage quality to this beat. The subsequent track, A Beautiful Soul, contains another gorgeous soul loop on here. Amari spits some romantic bars with his featured artist K. Turner. Apologize if I'm getting that name wrong. We get somewhat of a neo-soul sensibility from the refrain. It's another smooth and vibe-heavy track. The following record, Live Your Life, finds Amari and Ted Bundy to God, reflecting on the struggle. The beat is very dignified sounding. Amari states, we live in an era where everything is open and nothing is ever sacred. My universe is always occupied. Yours is always vacant. But still, despite the hardships, Amari manages to put a positive spin on things, because at the end of the day, your life is what you make it, and you got to live it to the fullest extent. What follows is the magnetic King Shit, one of the standout tracks, which finds Amari spinning effortlessly over this majestic and regal beat. The opening lines really stood out the most. It's wintertime, I start to harvest, envisioning I'm signed to a record deal like Mass Appeal as one of Nas's artists. And these critics say that I'm reaching, far from teaching. I open up my pupils every time I dim the light, so they stay focused, my students, they never lose in sight. Even though the hook on some King Shit is simple, it stands out over this glorious production. On The Gift, Amari Mar encourages people to dig deep to find their true gift. This is set to a sorrowful soul backdrop. Amari feels he was put into this world to be a natural born healer, to spread knowledge and wisdom, to wake up the masses. The following track, Beyond the Surface, is a little darker with a hypnotic and ghost-like harmony. On this one, Amari and Balance the Jeweler spit some third eye vision bars. Amari states, it was written on tablets and scrolls, forming letters like pebbles and stones, ancient methods like in Game of Thrones. I do like the lyrics and the beat, however, I didn't agree with Amari's one line, which stated, the coronavirus got people living in fear, believing in this crisis. I mean, I personally believe the coronavirus is real, but that's his views on it. I have some homies who I disagree with on this particular issue, but it is what it is. I just had to point that out. Track 14, The Chosen One, has some thoughtful and poetic bars set to a tranquil beat. The content is pretty self-explanatory, as Amari Mar deems himself as the chosen one. He discusses meditation a little more in depth here. Today, I'd rather keep it indoors and stay at home and meditate with sage, suppress my anger rage. Don't get it puzzled if I burn essential oils on stage. I'm at a point in my life where I have to protect my energy. The following track, The Darkness, is easily the darkest and moodiest record on this album. On here, Amari Mar talks about the dark forces that exist to zap us of our energy and to keep us off balance, but ironically, it is in this darkness where he finds some of the answers. I was getting some RZA vibes from his flow and subject matter. I could totally envision the RZA rapping about a topic like this on one of the Gravediggers albums. So I really like the energy on the following two tracks. The record On the Right Path has the most attractive sample on this album. Let me say, I love this beat. It's so soulful and triumphant. The lyrics are dope as well. The album closes out on a high note with the posse cut Rise and Shine featuring Jay Nolan and Jaden Shropshire. This has another fantastic, soulful boom bap beat with some scratching. The drums are super ill and everyone is spitting hard verses. I feel this was a dope way to wrap up the project. Overall, I give this album a rating of a strong 3.5 to a light 4 mic, so anywhere between a 3.5 and a 4. I really like the production as he kept it consistently soulful throughout. I am a fan of sample-based production, and he had that in abundance on here, as well as drums. Because I'm so over this obsession with drumless loops that some underground artists seem to have these days. At the end of the day, I found Amari Mar's content to be a breath of fresh air in an industry filled with a lot of negativity and formulaic content. He's definitely going to make you think on here and possibly require the listener to go a little beneath the surface. That being said, his content isn't going to be for everyone. I mean, I liked it, but I could see some viewing his music as a little self-righteous, but the reality is he raps very well and has a lot of thoughtful advice that needs to be heard. You know, even if you aren't operating on the exact same frequency as Amari Mar, you have to respect his skill set, good ear for beats, and authenticity, and he definitely succeeds in pulling you into his orbit throughout this album. My favorite tracks include Grand Rising, Holy Shit, Black Business, The Truth, Head Up High, King Shit, The Chosen One, On the Right Path, and Rise and Shine. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section below. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but as always, it's peace and blessings. Be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. Amari Mar, Grand Rising 1.